we'd go to a movie.
Hi, my voice.
Now, if Tom Cruise had a movie out,
I'm listening
back in
to
my day,
people
at least for me,
experience
I don't remember going
Scientology.
to any Tom Cruise movies. But later on, we heard that Scientology would buy all these tickets and send all these people to go fill seats. And
Life After a Cult. I'm not sure
actors in America.
I don't know these people. I don't know.
But they did.
I just
and
know
this
that
and there's a conversation again about the book and what they were doing. So
I just know that this is a part of the
what
whole
hilarious
awakening
news
thing.
on an Aloha Friday. By the way, y'all, there is a question of the day.
When we lived in Riverside, my boys.
Not yet answered it.
This was right before
what
COVID.
Would you ask a current Scientologist? If you could ask them anything and they had to be honest, what would you ask a current Scientologist? Please keep your answers
right before
coming.
COVID hit.
Nancy's helping me start those.
I got a big wave.
We're gonna talk about some of those
what's
a little
happening.
bit later, so keep that coming. If you're on the replay, please jump in those comments.
Had dreams.
You could ask a current
so the tarot
Scientologist
cards,
anything,
the tarot readings,
and they were gonna answer honestly. What would you ask?
I prefer dreams instead.
So
I prefer you telling me your dream, and then I can tell you what's going on
David Cross is an actor,
and what it means. So far, my mom tells me about her dream. And already it's like, holy fuck.
What was it? Arrested Development.
This is
David Cross has been an actor for a long time. He's got a large body of work. Me personally, I know him from being in Arrested Development. And he did.
My mom is so obsessed with the royal family, like extremely obsessed.
Are you guys familiar with the group
and
Tool?
I could never figure that shit out when I was little. It always pissed me off. Even go back to when she was pregnant with me, she even got the Princess Diana cut and everything. She thought she was a fucking princess. That's what my mom did. Like, come on.
And the video was about Tool's infamous 1993 Scientology Center show. But
yesterday, last night,
in this interview, David Cross talks about his experience.
Remember, you know what just popped in my head? And I go, whoa, and I'm curious because that's the spirits telling.
So let's take a look at this. He even talks about the personality test and how many times
Christopher Dolan, and I'm like, Dolan? Christopher Dolan? I don't know. I'm like, and she goes, you know, the one that
once in Boston,
that the LAPD. I'm like, oh, Dorner, Christopher
Third time
Dorner.
I did it, I did have some sort of
I'm like,
celebrity,
yeah,
so
I
they
know him.
treated
What
me
about? What?
differently.
And she goes, no, he just popped in my head. The name just popped in my head. I'm like, really? So I'm like excited because I'm like, that's funny because Matt, I was just reminiscing about Matt Aguilar, and I did a comment on that surprise witness. Now I'm commenting on people's pages that I know that it might stick, someone might get the message or the code, the text, the comment that I'm sending out, because it's like, come on, someone has to be picking this up.
Increases muscle strength by 12% in about 16 weeks. It also improves endurance, speeds up recovery
I didn't believe
after exercise,
Michael Jackson died at first. I thought it was,
and it makes your muscles less sore after you work out. So if you want to feel better, have more energy, live longer, MitoPure helps you do that.
Like, wow, he planned it. Like, he had part in this.
Everyone, Siobhan Moran here, driving for your success, and you have a container that you are in. So that container,
when COVID hit, I have to go bring back to COVID, because that was really bad time for me, because I was getting so overwhelmed.
And then we have our own
like, hey, can you help me? Hey, this, I know you. Hey, you help me with this. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know you. I don't know anybody. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm getting attacked. Why? And then I'm like,
that occurs is then you'll have an outburst of
anger,
or
fear,
or
oh my god, he's not my king. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Swear that you dealt with. Or what you will find is you have to have some sort of physical ailment or a health thing
it's in my blood. This I know. I'm also more.
Out of that container.
So
now,
when
what I teach is how to deal with the stuff in
when
that
the
container,
COVID
so
hit, I had opportunity, boys, to be on the phone. Well, like multitasking, because I didn't have, you guys didn't have to go to school, so I was able to turn the apartment into like an art area.
Anxious
and seeing what you guys can create. And I was doing it on Instagram, vlogging it. Then I noticed my logs would get banned or blocked. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Censorship. And I'm like, oh, this shit again. Not this shit again. This is like, I'm like, what was I thinking? They were doing this before with the voting.
On a regular
so Westminster PD,
day out basis, just
like you're really gonna do this to me? You're really gonna? I hope those people. I hope the Who people. Let me get the.
Your business is going to.
But it's hasn't changed, or at least didn't change in that time period.
Really breaks my heart. Here.
Oxford.
The Be Well
personality test.
It's actually called the Oxford Capacity.
This is just money being wasted. It's not help at all. I hope those people had body cameras. I hope they do.
And that's totally true.
And then it's like you get upset and yell at your parents, and then you can. It's just three. It's a multiple choice. Like always, never, sometimes. And they just have it done so that however you answer, they can.
I know my mom was horrible. I know she's bad, but this is what I'm given. And with the help of passed over celebrities and my ancestors, they're showing me like it's a curse. It's you have to be the one to do the magic, work on the magic, and the magic is yourself. Like
because that's exactly
turning your negativity into something that benefits you. Work on like the negativity, make it positive, and you become like your own battery.
You're too open. You're not open enough. That
and
is
what
how
Tesla showed me is like the
entire time I was in Scientology,
deepest thought
I had
go
no
and possibly imagine
of the level of fraud
what brings
that
you
this test
there.
was about.
What brings you
I
there,
knew
and
it was
what can
used
take
as a
you
tool
out.
to recruit, but because I was a good little Scientologist, born and raised, I just believed it. Oh, and it's the Oxford.
I have a lot of dead people talking to me and showing me things, and I don't know anybody. I'm just connected to people.
Natalie
so
today looks back
they are
on
trying to help
Natalie,
me connect to the other people.
But what do you do?
But I just.
But he's totally right about that. Completely.
Okay.
I'm going to link that down below. It's a really interesting interview because he talks about this concert that this
my chest hurts pretty bad. It's been hurting me. I can't go
Celebrity
anywhere. I just feel like I just don't want to go anywhere, but I know it's going to change soon.
So if you get a chance and you're interested in that, check it out. When we're all done, I'll link everything and you can see it. But I love that he talks about personality tests and shine light on what a fraud. What a fraud!
Talk to people because when I was in a relationship, when I was married, I couldn't go to people. I couldn't really go out either. And now I'm forced to get information.
You might want to
dust
off your hip hip hooray Scientology because L. Ron Hubbard is turning 114. We should wake up the Office of Special Affairs for
the people that the Westminster Hope and Opportunity. I have to bring that up because my husband was involved in that.
Leader.
I couldn't trust anybody. Like I saw what he was doing, and it was like
Office of Special Affairs, my lovelies.
It's just like my mom.
Aloha Friday. Yes, it is.
Like no one's gonna see this abuse.
I'm super happy. You cannot bring
Everyone's just gonna push it away. But I thought somebody would be like,
in general, because I get to come on here almost every single day.
You don't need to
talk about Scientology and cults.
To put up with this stuff.
Today is
and I remember Roseal's the one that said that too. Like why she's like, why do you let him do that to you?
Bunker. Everybody get ready
like
to
why
go to the
can't
bunker.
you just leave? You're pretty. Why can't you just be with anybody else? And I'm like, I don't want to be with anybody else. My kids.
Tony Ortega did this article.
I wanted to see what she would say.
Scientology founder
and this is
turning 114
Javier's wife,
the date of his party.
Junior Beba and Crystal's mother.
Y'all know there's been contradictory.
I wanted to see what she would say because I was heavily talking to her dead husband. That Westminster SWAT team just blasted him, and that was the dad's fault. His own dad killed his son and wants to gaslight everyone in the fucking goddamn family. Like, what are you fucking doing?
for
Sex
Scientology.
kills.
The other narrative
he
is
chose.
We're going to build him
The dad
bedroom,
chose
at each of
a
the
woman
vaults.
over his
We're
kids.
Restoring Scientology data in case of the apocalypse.
You
because
think?
L. Ron Hubbard's going to come back. Yes. He's going
You
to come
think
back.
his kids
I'm
would
not
get
sure
the hang
which
of
those
it?
two
Like,
narratives are
think,
actually
like, hey,
strange.
you know, but no, they're
I'm not
using
sure
him
that it's
too.
a competition. It's a little potato.
It's a dad. It's a
saying
dad.
Target 2
Like,
versus he's coming
only
back.
one they got
Where
left
you at?
because the mom's
Where you
gone.
at, L. Ron Hubbard? As a Sea Org member, I was told between lives, y'all know that we actually were
and Dan
told
Escamilla
we
is
had a
the one
certain
that
amount
took
of time
advantage of
between
me when
lives
I
to
was
return
drunk.
to duty. Another contradiction.
Like, he knew my dad
Because you know what
died.
that age was?
Not only that, he
Anyone know in
knew the
chat?
fucking
Because
trouble I was having with your dad. I asked him for help.
The age
He knew
between lives.
the
So
fucking.
you're a Sea Org member,
He
right? You get no
knew.
medical care. You're stuffed in some facility. No one's taking care of you. And sadly, you pass away alone.
Why would he do that to me?
You
knowing
have
that that is not the
21
fucking.
years to return
It
to
didn't.
get another body in a Scientology family. No, Lacey, 21. 21. It's more than 21 years, Mock. It's been more than 21
I really
years,
do
for
want
sure,
to kill
since he
myself
died in
then.
86. But you have 21 years. So here's the
I
contradiction.
remember
Number
in
one,
the shower. I remember in the shower.
Girl, please.
It was
Scientology is not waiting for someone to turn 21.
the morning
Recruit
of.
them into the Sea Org.
In the
That is a
shower,
complete
just
and
like
utter contradiction.
scrubbing the hell out of me, like
You
just
have
trying to
21
remember,
years.
crying,
Then where is L.
trying
Ron
to remember,
Hubbard?
like how, like
Where is he? And some
how did I
Scientologists
come
do
up with the
believe he's gonna
conclusion?
return.
How did
There's
that?
an office in every Scientology organization. And I know Scientology likes to say it's out of
That
respect.
is still hard
It's just
for
out
me
of
to
respect.
get out.
No, you think he's coming back. There was a time where they would like lay
That
on his
was very
cigarettes and
hard. That was very
everything.
difficult for me.
Embrace it, Scientology.
In my
Embrace
throat,
it.
I just wanted
But
to
tell us, is he
slash
on
my
Target
throat,
too?
just like
Or is he coming
no,
back to run
that
Scientology?
no,
And let's be
no,
honest, David Miscavige
and
is not going to let him run Scientology. I mean,
like
come
never
on. It's just not
again.
going to happen.
And I called for
It's not going to happen. So let's take a look at this because it's got some great info in it.
Medusa.
A big
I
thank you
did
to Alex
call
Barnes
on
Rocks,
Medusa
who
for
sent us an
that,
invite to
and
this year's L. Ron Hubbard
right
birthday bash
away
in Clearwater,
I
Florida.
got a sense
What's
of
that? You say you weren't invited? Well, okay. If it's true
there.
that this is
It's
a private
the like
cult of Scientology event,
it was
one
a
of the biggest
setup.
events on
Right
the cult
away, it
calendar
was a fucking
every
goddamn
year,
setup.
but we're
I
happy
wanted to know
at
who
least
is
to receive a
who.
copy of the announcement
Then my marriage was
that
over
it
by
will be
right
taking
there,
place
what just
sharpen your
happened
pencils, my
at that
friends.
moment in time.
Saturday, March
I knew my
15th,
marriage was
and
no longer a
as
marriage.
ever
It
at
was a
Ruth Eckerd
it was
Hall.
a death
So this is
sentence for
when
me.
the Florida L. Ron Hubbard birthday event
And I
is
kept
taking
that
place
inside.
March
Oh my
15th,
fucking god!
Ruth Eckerd Hall.
Because
Ron is turning
I knew that
114
there was
years
more to
old.
it.
He was born on March 13th, 1911 in Tilden, Nebraska. Shout out to Nebraska. What a bummer. What's Nebraska known for? The birthplace of L. Ron Hubbard.
And they're
there's
involved
more. There's
in
more to it. In fact, I think in Nebraska,
in the medical field.
I think Hormel has plants in
So of
Nebraska that make
course they're
spam. I don't know why
saved
that's
and they
sticking
have
in
their
my head.
cliques.
Was it
Because I know
Nebraska?
I
It's
know for a
Minnesota,
god I know
Nebraska,
for
or
a
it was at
fact
one
the
point.
medical
Anyways,
field
I
they
digress.
do all this drugs and
What do
shit
you
like
get
that, just like
someone
the
who's
cops in the
turning
military.
114?
They'll do the drugs.
And
They're
how
more
do you get
safer
it to him since
doing
Ron
alcohol
voluntarily
than they are with
left
drugs.
his
But
body
it is
on
possible for
January
them to do
24th,
drugs,
1986,
especially the
in
military.
order,
Cocaine
it was
is
said, to
the
pursue
top of
his
the
researches
list right
into
there.
the higher levels of Scientology secrets
I don't know
without
why.
the encumbrance of a physical
It's
body and somewhere
weed,
else in the
cocaine,
galaxy. Hey Ron,
and
you still out there?
alcohol.
Imagine it's like paging L.
Those
Ron
were the
Hubbard.
ones that
Paging
were.
L. Ron Hubbard, please come to the nearest courtesy phone. Yes, we need you to report back. You got a birthday coming up. Please report to the nearest courtesy phone. Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard is not showing
You
up.
take your hair follicles, and I know you can.
I don't know what
come on,
happened
why
to
can't
cult
anyone
leaders
just take
when
hair
they die,
follicles
but
and
I
get it
just don't
over
think
with?
that
But
this is
a lot of these nurses, they killed a lot of these
let's see.
people.
So March 15th,
A lot of these people, their dead relatives are wanting closure, and sometimes I will have that closure that they need. They're having a nightmare or a dream, and they need to express it, and they don't know why.
But each year,
so then
Scientologists hold a
that's
few
where I
big
come in and
international
read their
events
dream
that
and
all
going,
wealthy church members are expected to attend if they
did
can
somebody
get there.
do this,
For
or
an
are you
organization that
are
claims
you
to have
having a
millions
hard
of
time at your
members,
work, or
though
whatever
Ruth
it
Eckerd
is?
Hall has managed to be big enough for this celebration year after year, even though it only has a capacity of 2,180. In other words, the fact that the LRH birthday event
the dreams
never
are also
needs
coded
a bigger venue is one of
for
the
you
pieces
to
of
look up the
evidence that
things.
Scientology really only has about 20,000 active members around the world. That is something that I remember
the
being
eagle
in Scientology.
dream. I had a dream
like,
that I was. I didn't realize I was an eagle.
This place is not that big.
I just remember flying.
Maybe they got
and as I looked
on
the side, I saw an eagle looking straight at me. And I felt this sense of like,
not every Scientologist, but a lot of them. We were
height and
like,
pride and flying fast, but heavy. It was thick. It was heavy. And
you just don't voice it.
At the eagle,
say it because you don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to be interrogated. You don't want to get security checked.
I felt peace.
Any of the
like
things,
it shook me a little bit.
This is happening in Clearwater.
And it woke me up. Like, well, I never had that dream before. It was really weird. It was really a different kind of feeling. And I come back to that dream every once in a while. I'm like, so what does that really mean? Because I'm still thinking about it. I'm still processing. This was before the whole kidnapping thing and the whole. This was when we were living in my mother-in-law's house, my offspring, my boys. And this was when you're going to graduate, Anthony. So you were in 6th grade.
This is from last year. Remember that picture of John Travolta and Elizabeth Moss that somehow
and I was also having a lot of dreams about the shooting and earthquake and
Scientology's own press release about the event. We spotted
manholes,
pregnant Elizabeth Moss,
the sewers popping up, like the manholes lids popping up.
With both of them giving cult
and
leader David Miscavige a
underground
ovation.
was smoking with steam like a lot.
I gotta tell you, don't miss it. I don't miss all the up and the down and the up and the down.
So the dreams start getting more like where I can walk into it, but it looks like a movie scene. Totally look like a movie scene. So back to the eagle thing. So I go into the dream again and I go, so does that mean I'm an eagle? Because I can't see myself. I just figured that I'm
so that's something to keep
in my body and I'm flying like Superman.
There in the article,
and
down below. You can check out the
if I think about
Here's some other celebrities. Michael Pena.
I wasn't doing that. I was not doing that. I was an eagle myself. I was a bird myself.
That must be that guy there. Clapping.
So
hip hip hooray. So yeah, Scientologists everywhere are getting ready to dust off their hip hip hoorays for this event. We'll see what happens.
So the
in
animal,
Los Angeles.
like
if somebody knows
there's something in
the
there.
Where in LA, let me know. Let me know. Throw it in the chat. If you're on the replay, jump in those comments. Hey,
I don't believe in the religion. I don't believe in religion. I believe in the culture. Like I don't.
A suppressive person. Does he have to do a security check?
The stars talk. Like the universe talks back.
L. Ron Hubbard.
I can't see the stars. I can't see shit.
Even Scientology knows
I'll think it. I have to stand really long. Like really, I have to stand for a long time to see a certain star to see if it will fucking move or not. I don't know. Or if it's a fucking plane over here. So it's like.
Has a following. There's a cult for everybody, you all.
I can't. I really can't. I go off of feeling. But the street, whoever did these fucking streets, I'm talking about in California. So if anybody else elsewhere, I'm pretty sure it's the same damn thing. Because the Illuminati and Freemason, they are the ones that have the money. They're the ones that develop the land, this and that. So whatever Michael Jackson was doing, that's what Walt Disney was doing. But Walt Disney was also hypnotizing MK Ultra stuff, and he wasn't the war stuff. So I see a lot of fighting where it should be fighting.
Overprescription of psychiatric medication, but I am not a Scientologist. Listen to this.
Whoever developed these cities also has a connection to the stars. To see if this alien thing can come back at them and slap them in the face.
I don't know too much about Scientology. I think they think mental illness is like a spiritual problem and that the drugs are used to control people. That is my understanding. And I think they're mostly wholesale against them. And that's not me. You know, the problem that I have with psychiatric medications is I think there's about 1 million things you could do before you prescribe them. You know, dietary changes, exercise
he goes on to talk about, how he treats and his views on that. But the important thing was, oh, no, I'm not a Scientologist.
A lot of doctors...
Marked safe from Scientology, Dr. Joseph. I wanted to make sure the Office of Special Affairs saw that one because it's a tsunami. You know how before a tsunami comes, the water retreats? The water pulls back?
The deep impact.
Suddenly you can see all the shells on the beach. There's kind of a tingling in the air, and you're like, whoa, what's happening? This is kind of cool. But wait a minute. This doesn't seem right. And then off in the distance, you see the wave building. This is what's happening, Office of Special Affairs. That pullback of the water, that's a sign. The tsunami is coming. Let's be real. It's been coming. It just happens in waves. But when other content creators or doctors have to go out of their way to point out they are not a Scientologist, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't.
This doctor that I have is kind of hair doctor.
Or expansion. You guys
he
tell
scares
me what you
me.
think. But check out this next story here.
Oh, he gives me.
This is another one that just had me cracking up. So this also
he was trying to act stupid with me about the shaman, like me practicing medicine, like our own different kind of medicine. But then when I asked him about, he's like, "What? I don't understand what that is." And like witchcraft. Oh,
this is
like
in Clearwater. L. Ron Hubbard fiction comes to life at the Scientology Information Center. This was posted by Pat. She's a neighbor. It's pretty much, I think it's safe to assume that it is Pat Harney. You know Pat Harney? Aaron Smith Levin are growing up in Scientology, and when he's out there, likes to go visit and say hi to Pat at the Scientology Information Center. I can only assume this is the same Pat.
Which is
real. They only seem to
in
have
Orange County. There's a lot of men now because of the mommies.
Here is what they are doing on March 1st, y'all.
So Blessed Sacrament.
Starting on March 1st at 3 p.m., the L. Ron Hubbard East Coast Golden Age Theater will perform a dramatic reading of River Driver at the Scientology Information Center.
I would burn it down.
The community is invited to enjoy this old-time Golden Age radio theater style drama, River Driver, a Pulp Fiction story written by L. Ron Hubbard.
History always repeats itself. Why would you want to
the Scientology Information
children
Center is
getting
located
raped,
in the
babies
historic
getting
Clearwater
raped?
building at 500 Cleveland Street in
Why
downtown
would
Clearwater.
you want
Just
to
look for the
repeat
protesters
that in the name of Jesus Christ
like
and your God and these people who keep going in these churches? Why are we keep doing that? This
the
Bible
Scientology Information Center, that's where it's located. Before television, families would huddle around the radio to listen to their favorite show, said Pat Harney, the manager of the center.
And look what happened to that. That was also the time where, was it the Battle of Hollywood?
Visual enactment of a good story at the Scientology Information Center. Okay, I got a couple things to say about this. One,
movies. That's why Meghan Markle to me
I'm
is
not
like a
hating on them
Scientology
because
queen.
it's an old-timey radio thing. That can be kind of cool. But you know why? You know why they're really doing this. This is my theory, my opinion, my speculation. They're just trying to get people off the internet. No, don't go on the internet. Let's come here and let's reenact some old-timey radio stuff. Yes, put down your phone. No, stop Googling Scientology. I think that's what they're doing here.
The government.
And it sounds like it's going to be a series. Like it's going to be a thing.
Doesn't want to
I think it's going to be a thing.
admit that they
So
are
we'll have to
Scientology.
see.
It's been a whole
We'll have to see.
experiment.
Oh, Perth, I saw your comment. Yeah, well, you know what? Doing it on the 13th is still super awesome because that's L. Ron Hubbard's birthday. And the 15th is only the event in Clearwater. I don't know what they're doing in LA, but no, I think you're totally on point with the 13th. In my opinion, I think that's a great
when was Michael Jackson's
to do
birthday?
a Scientology protest there. Is it in
Michael
Perth
Jackson
or is it in
born on August
Melbourne?
29, 1958.
Hey Alexa, when did Michael Jackson pass away?
You know what I'm saying. I think this one is in Perth, but can you throw it in the chat? Unless you already did, and I'm the only one who doesn't recall exactly where it was. Oh, thank you for the reminder, Arkansas Flamingo. Do a solid. Hit that like and subscribe,
Michael
y'all.
Jackson brings in 15.
I'll keep an eye out for that there. All right, so yeah, this thing is happening. I think they're just trying to get people off the internet. You watch, this will be the next big thing in Scientology. We're no longer on the internet. We're no longer streaming or watching YouTube. There's way too many documentaries out there.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, my son's birthday, I remembered Yolanda Gallo, because I remember, like, when you hate someone, that it comes back at you it comes back at you like that. So I was trying not to have Yolanda in, like, my mindset at all. I didn't like the bitch, but she was trying to get to me every chance she can get. So then, find out my son, I'm having labor pains, and I'm like, he's not gonna be born on August 28th. He's not gonna be born on October 28th. The fuck no. No way. He's either coming out the 29th or 27th, but not no 28th.
Scientology up north says there will be suppressive person birthday celebrations,
and I had no problem with the 28th.
Well.
Okay.
Oh, how lovely.
But it's just because that's what I remember that Yolanda's birthday was.
Fantastic. Now, there is a YouTube content creators. A bunch of you sent me this clip, and I'm so glad you did, because I didn't know about her channel.
I remember her birthday's in August because she's younger than me.
Doherty. She did a video.
And I knew that she was going to graduate when she was 17, and I always thought that that was kind of like, she's going to have a hard time. To me, I felt like she was going to have a hard time.
Let me forget what I was doing. Phil Jones.
And I can't, and my dad was 17. My dad's born in August as well, and my sister was born in September, and she graduated 17 years old. And I saw my sister was having trouble too, so I'm like, I didn't want that, you know. I kept thinking that, you know. But then I'm like, I really didn't want my baby to share the same birthday as my bully, like the bitch that I hated. And I thought it was funny because that's the way it goes. So I'm like, I was laughing about it. So I'm like, I'm gonna push this baby out. Colin. He came out on the 27th, and I was just like, so happy. I was so happy it was the 27th. But I knew that it was going to be hard for you. You know, I just, because of those numbers. But the 8th, when you had the August, and that was fine.
You know, if you're a
I didn't want you born on my dad's birthday.
Out there, maybe not so much.
I didn't, and I definitely didn't want you born on the bully's birthday. But I'm like, at that time, I'm like, I'd rather have my dad's.
That's why I don't call a lot of things cults. That's why I call.
And Desi ends up being born on
it is completely
Patty's birthday on the 28th of October.
And I'm glad they're calling it that. And I'm glad that
and
they're
I thought that was really that was a warning sign to me, like, you gotta pay attention. It's witchcraft going on.
Too. Yeah, some of that
and when I was pregnant with Desi, it was
I'm hating on Scientology for trying to do
that. It was dark.
Because it just screams, we know you won't
come in
to learn about Scientology, but what if we offered some free entertainment?
And the dreams I was having in spider webs, a lot of spiders and a lot of webs. It was like
Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard.
And
L. Ron Hubbard
Indiana
is amazing,
Jones.
And his birthday's coming up.
It felt like that.
We'll see if anybody shows up. I think
usually, and I believe
usually they have Scientologists
the
go to that too,
to
be some seat fillers, you know what I'm saying? Fill some seats. Fill some seats for Scientology. Now, let's take a look at a clip from Kelly Copter when she interviewed the one, the only, Philip Jones, who was here in the chat.
Okay, for instance, Mariah Carey's
and how Scientology influences its members
wanted to sabotage her
or firing Scientologists
and guilt trip her. They would sell her out in a heartbeat.
With Scientology or not good standing in Scientology.
And when my grandmother died,
you're running a company and
Mariah Carey came fucking up. My grandmother kept getting my mom Mariah Carey, and it's even videotaped.
We're not down with this anymore. We want to go.
And as they're talking, Mariah Carey video comes on, and I was just like, oh, wow, my grandmother's talking.
You can't do that. You're
run
fired.
through the video
I can't
already.
have you work for me if the
And she's
Lutheran
also
Church
talking
doesn't
to me.
approve
If I see it,
of your
she knew
actions
I
and
was
what
going to
you're
see
doing.
it. So I knew
Yeah,
when I
that
went
was
to
this.
jail, whenever I went to
this.
jail, those people that I dreamt about were in the jail. They had no idea I dreamt
Like
of them.
in practical
But they're
terms, what
the
did
stories
they
that I
do
got back from
to make
them,
it
it's
real?
like, oh, that's the person I was supposed to
In the
meet.
past, they would
So they
issue
like I did everything I was supposed to do to meet these
suppressive
people,
declare orders. And what
so
was
I
happening,
can
some
deliver the
people were
message and
publishing
they can
them
deliver the
online,
message for me.
so they stopped actually giving them
And
out.
it
Went to
was
see
pure
a
like
guy I had done
amazing.
work for years,
The people
made
that I
tons of
met
money.
in jail,
He told me out flat out.
all
He said,
because I
"You can't
did what
work
I was
for me
supposed
if
to
you're
do
not
for my
understanding the
ancestors,
Scientology
and they did.
rules."
And that's the same thing when I
You
went to the
can't work
hospital
for
when
me
I got
if you're
my
not
shoulder
in good standing with
dislocated
Scientology.
or disconnected, detached.
I mean, I know that's not surprising. We've heard similar
The
stories
people in the
and things like
hospital
that,
were
right?
the names
But
that I
dang, can you
needed to
imagine
hear.
again in another scenario? But they don't see it that way to the Scientologists. This is part of the indoctrination because they believe everything they do has to be in the direction of clearing the planet, even though Scientology can't clear a street. But we're going to clear the planet. That is how they think. That they also think that by labeling a person as a suppressive person, you're leaving the door
funny
open
because
just a crack.
Amy West
for them to come crawling
has the
back
same initials as
and do
like
their
Amy Wong
amends
from
and their
Futurama.
steps
Futurama does
for
the
getting back into the good
Amy from
graces of
Mars thing,
Scientology,
you know?
so that Scientologists will hire them.
And then
So
the
Scientologists will
Indians,
date
they're
them.
like,
That's right,
there's a Native
Helicopter. They can
American
clear
thing up
your
there.
bank
It's funny. It
account.
was like,
That's what they're good at
it's in
clearing. I
Futurama.
agree.
Like, it's
You're
a
so
part
right.
of The Simpsons.
It's actually really funny.
And my sister was
They
so
can
obsessed
clear
with
your bank
Futurama.
account.
She
So
had a video
true.
game and
Oh
everything.
my gosh, it's so true. It's so true. It's embarrassing, but it
What
is
is
true.
what I hate
More
about
and more
it when I
catching
was
on. But yeah.
married with Lauren,
Again,
there was
Natalie
people that
today
kept
looks
calling me,
back on
harassing me,
Scientology,
and I'm like, well,
Natalie,
just
and
come to my fucking
cringes
face,
just
come to my fucking
about
face.
so much.
And
There's just so much.
now I see that it's
Hold
a
on, you
whole
guys.
fucking community thing. It's a whole
Life after a
fucking
cop
like
hotline. This is Natalie. How can I help you?
covering up for
By the
each
hotline,
other.
I didn't lose them. My phone just fell. Oh, you're there.
These
okay, good.
kids
How can I help you?
what I saw these kids go
Yeah.
through during the
Have you been-
shooter
you've been pressured
thing
into a
after Sandy
life-changing
Hook. These
opportunity?
kids had
Well,
PTSD
tell me.
in preschool.
You
These
think you might
kids
be
were
the cause?
shaking,
All right. Well, you know what?
and these
Take a deep
parents
breath,
didn't
and we
even
are going to
fucking
figure this
know.
out together. We
So
are. First
these
question.
parents
Do they
are
promise
selling.
you
These
total
parents are really
financial
selling out
freedom?
these kids in school. I have no
Is that what you
respect
said?
for the kids, the teachers. I have
Okay.
no respect
But
for
only if you work hard and
the schools,
believe. Oh, yeah.
district.
Gotta believe.
No respect at all.
They did
These
what?
teachers should have done something to protect these kids, and they didn't.
And they say something like
They chose
you
money.
just have
They
to
still choose
invest
money
in
because
yourself
these schools are still
while
open.
aggressively
They couldn't even
making
take
eye
a break from the
contact.
pandemic. My grandpa was murdered,
The eye
and my
contact
kids
for
still
sure.
needed to
Yeah, no,
heal
strong
from
red
that because
flag.
they saw
Do they have
him.
a central leader?
Each time they saw him, he
Figure
got
everyone
so
worship.
bad. I
A
had
guy
to
named
try to
Trevor.
heal from that shit. And what
Only wears
they
designer
see me
sneakers
experience,
and
what they saw me go
constantly
through,
posts
they
what?
have to heal from what they
Photos
saw
of
me go
himself
through.
next to rented sports cars. That's a little unusual. Yeah. And everyone calls him a genius, even though he dropped out of college and somehow never has a real job. I mean, in full defense, I mean, like,
You can, whatever you post is going to be up there. So the fucking Westminster PD wants to play fucking stupid with me. They all are going under. I'm telling you, they'll sell out these fucking kids for a fucking goddamn paycheck. That is not fucking right. If you're in the military and you join the police force,
$499, and it just contains
where are
what?
you? Christopher Dorner's the only one that fucking stood up for every fucking body.
And some DVDs.
And look at where he's at.
DVDs, you said, as in like those discs we put in those machines. Okay. No, I mean, that would be a red flag with me too. Okay.
If they hate you, the blacklist, what blacklisting is, if they'll send you people to be in a relationship with you, to
they told you
gaslight
it's not a pyramid scheme.
So I know
it's an inverted wealth distribution model. Oh my gosh, that's just fancy words for a pyramid scheme. Okay, final question. If you tried to leave, what would happen?
Don't touch the alcohol.
They tell you you're giving up on your dreams, that you just don't have the mindset for success.
It's funny because I'm getting told that too. You're giving up. Why am I giving up? I'm not giving up. I'm going to live.
Emotional
If I'm doing the same, I'm doing what I'm told. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm living. And I hope I die because I know when I die, I'm going to live.
The bad news, you joined an MLM. Yeah. No, you should get out now.
Yeah.
No, block Trevor.
Sad. People want to think that this is a way of life, and
if
it's
anyone
not.
says, "Hey, girl, I have
living
an
like this is not life. I'd rather be dead.
No,
because that's where the real party's at.
You have a cult-free day.
Oh. So sorry to that. I don't know. Like, that's the way I feel.
It's borderline. I mean, sometimes I feel like those MLMs are actually, kind of culty. Kind of culty. I don't know a ton about them. It's still
I'm grateful that these spirits are giving me the opportunity to examine myself and heal.
Philip Jones says, "Damn, Trevor sold me his lectures on 8-track tapes. I feel ripped off."
I have a right to cry, and I am crying for a fucking good reason.
Did you have to get a new car?
Let it out.
I mean, you gotta get a car to play 8-track tapes.
Don't
vintage. You have to get a car that came out when the shirt came out.
I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity to
RSM. How are all the crazies getting that phone
to
number?
know that there's a better world, like a better life. So my voice, I'm telling you,
places, and I'm here to help. Because a lot of people are wondering right now, am I in a cult?
Your world better.
Oh my gosh, am I in a cult?
In the darkest moments,
and I'm here for it. Gotta educate.
You're living your life. You will live your life.
Tony Hoban says MLMs definitely
call out the people who hurt you.
Cult.
Call them out.
They do scare me.
No
I shared
means
with
no.
you guys, right?
Call them out. If you're getting hurt, call them out. I don't like it. Stop it. 3 warnings, you turn them into a goon.
I don't even think I have any dramatic music in my thing, but cue the dramatic music. Yeah. I have had a fear of MLMs. When I get on an airplane, I think I've told you guys this before. My anxiety is not that the airplane will crash. It's that someone will try and turn me into a sister wife or join their MLM. Like I'm going to get stuck next to somebody. And that's going to be the conversation.
Yeah, how many years is going to go on?
It happened to me twice.
A big star's going to come
and I have
out of this thing and blossom.
So you would think, that's not the more likely scenario to happen. But still, I'm going to
flower, it only blooms and it dies.
I spent 35 years in
if that's the case, and
I'm like,
what's happening.
Radar's up. Sometimes a little too much, but hey, a girl has to keep herself safe on an airplane.
Social media is not help.
I don't know why. I don't know why my brain goes there.
It's not. It's fate.
That's totally where it goes. Ooh, are you trying to make me a sister wife? Is this Amway? Like, what is it? Why are you talking?
Filter out. Filter it out and see what's real.
Yeah, mock, exactly. That's what noise canceling headphones are for. I'll put the headphones in right away and I just start watching a movie.
I love you, boys.
I do.
And
I'll be friendly at the end.